Many players have grasped at greatness. Some have held it for a short time. Lionel Messi has it permanently under his arm. He's that rare beast who is already an immortal of the game, and he's nowhere near the finish line. In their own right, Marco van Basten and Ruud Gullit are two of the best Dutch footballers in history. Together, they were simply breathtaking. Ferenc Pushkas was an incredible Hungarian goal-scoring machine whose achievements still amaze. This is the Immortals. No one could compare with Pelé. Argentina would never see another footballer like Maradona, and aliens don't exist. All of that was true until the world was introduced to Lionel Messi. In the lead-up to the 2015 Champions League final, veteran Juventus goalkeeper Gianluigi Buffon was asked about how he hoped to contain Barcelona, in particular their star playmaker. Messi is an alien that dedicates himself to play with humans. It's not the first time, and won't be the last, that Lionel Messi has been referred to as anything but human, simply because of his indelible mark on the world game. Barcelona went on to win that Champions League trophy, and it was in the middle of a resurrection of sorts by their Superman in the number 10 shirt. Messi had been without question the best footballer on the planet, winning an unprecedented 4 consecutive Ballon d'Or awards. But injuries had taken their toll, with Real Madrid's Cristiano Ronaldo moving in on his territory. Messi struck back in 2015. Barcelona's all-time leading scorer broke the hat-trick and assist records en route to the La Liga title, the 7th of his career. Victory in the Copa del Rey final and Champions League meant Barca became the first club to win the big 3 trophies in a season for the 2nd time. Messi scored 58 goals from 57 games to get 1 back on his rival Ronaldo, comfortably winning an extraordinary 5th Ballon d'Or.
I am taking this with peacefulness, enjoying it, always thinking that it's thanks to my side and my teammates I am where I am now. Thanks to everything we won last year, I was able to win this award. I am enjoying this and also sharing it with all of them. In the end, we go back home with the Ballon d'Or won by a friend. He deserves it. He's set a milestone in the past decade in the world of football in this 21st century. And seeing all this makes us very happy, because we have done it. No, he was the guy. I just gave my opinion, and I can tell you again. Messi is the best in the world and the best in history. That's all. This is my thought, and I think that people who like football have the same opinion.
Messi had put himself into the conversation about the best footballer of all time when he started his award domination in 2009. The comparisons to his countryman, Diego Maradona, had started earlier than that, thanks to his small stature, extraordinary ball control, and lethal left foot. And the man himself anointed Messi as his successor when he saw him as a teenager coming into the national team. I have seen the player who will inherit my place in Argentine football, and his name is Messi. Messi is a genius. Still to come on the Immortals, the tough road to greatness. Messi and Maradona sit on top of any best-of list from Argentina. But they're certainly not the only brilliant footballers to emerge from the South American powerhouse. Alfredo Di Stefano is described as the most complete footballer of all time, with his heroics at Real Madrid throughout the 1950s the stuff of legend. Daniel Passarella holds the unique distinction of being the only player to feature in both of Argentina's World Cup winning campaigns. And only one person has scored more goals for Argentina than Gabriel Batistuta. In 78 matches, he converted 54 times, a record that stood for years until the arrival of Messi. Lionel Messi nearly didn't get on the road to immortality. The son of a steel factory manager, was born in Rosario in central Argentina and was a brilliant youth footballer who cut his teeth with Newell's Old Boys. And there was no surprise about his inspiration.
As an Argentinian, I like Maradona for what he has achieved. He became the greatest footballer in the world. And then I like Ronaldinho, who is very close to me now, and I have always liked Pablo Aimar. I used to watch him when he played for River Plate. These are basically the players that I admire.
However, at the age of 10, he was diagnosed with a growth-restricting hormone deficiency, a condition that threatened to end his career before it had even started. The treatment was expensive, almost $1,000 per month that his modest family couldn't afford. Newell's wasn't able to pick up the medical costs, and even the wealthiest Argentine teams, such as River Plate, refused to foot the bill. Messi's parents took him to Spain in search of help, and after one trial at Barcelona, their wonder kid was signed at the age of 13. After successful treatment, Messi started to grow in more ways than one, and by 17, he was in the senior team.
He has made rapid progress, mostly due to his raw talent. He learns much faster than the others. That is why each time he learns more. He steps up another level. He evolves very quickly because his learning process has been so fast.
His debut with the national side was a memorable one for the wrong reasons in 2005. He came on at the 18th minute of the second half against Hungary and was sent off just 47 seconds later. At the 2006 World Cup, Messi became the youngest Argentine to play and score in the tournament. An Olympic gold medal followed 2 years later in Beijing. At 22, he won his first Ballon d'Or by a record margin in 2009. And it wasn't long until he was rewriting Barcelona's history books. In the 2011-12 season, Messi set La Liga and European records for the most goals in a single season. He also became Barcelona's greatest all-time scorer, overtaking Cesar Rodriguez's 57-year record of 232 goals, with a hat-trick against Granada. The 2014 World Cup final was billed as Messi versus Germany, the world's best player against the best team. He'd been brilliant in the lead-up, scoring 4 times in the group matches. And everything pointed to him finally fulfilling the dream of leading his country to football's holy grail. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be, with Germany scoring the only goal of the game deep into extra time. Then when success again eluded Messi at the 2016 Copa America, where Argentina lost on penalties to Chile, the best player in the world was frustrated. That was the 3rd successive defeat in a major tournament final. And afterwards, Messi announced his retirement from international football.
It's very difficult, as I said it before. The first thing that comes to me, and I thought about it in the dressing room, is that for me, I am done with the national team. As I said, it had been 4 finals, and it isn't for me. It is a shame because I tried everything. Winning a title is something I wanted so much, but it didn't happen.
It sent a nation into panic.
I feel an enormous sadness. It tears my heart in two. It was the cup that Messi had to win. More than anything, it is something that he deserves, and I just don't want him to leave the national team.
The mayor of Buenos Aires unveiled a statue of Messi, which he hoped would help change his mind, while even the president of the country became involved. The campaign worked, with Messi reversing his decision several months later, returning to the national team for the World Cup qualifier against Uruguay, scoring the only goal of the match, the 57th of his 116-game career in the sky blue and white. Being the best means being well remunerated, and Lionel Messi is the highest paid footballer on the planet. His net worth is estimated at around $350 million, with Barcelona keen to lock him into a new contract worth around $30 million per season to keep him at Camp Nou until 2022. Given he's won them 16 major trophies in his tenure by the time negotiations ramped up, you can understand the urgency of keeping the Messiah in place. Despite his incredible success, Messi has never forgotten the hard yards back in his homeland.
Since I was very little, I had to face a lot of sacrifice and effort because I had the dream of achieving success doing what I liked, which was football. I had to surmount so many things during that path. It was tough, but I never stopped dreaming on what I wanted to achieve, and I was lucky to make it.
In his role as UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, the world's best footballer visited earthquake-devastated Haiti to assist children and their families in need.
We have to work a lot and value Haiti and help in everything that is happening because we need a lot of work to change all that I saw. Haiti has practically nothing, and it will take a lot for Haiti to rise again.
Messi was forced to make a corrective payment of €5 million after being charged, along with his father Jorge, with tax fraud. They were both found guilty in July 2016, with Messi having a 21-month prison sentence suspended. When asked to testify, Messi confirmed he knew little about Spanish tax law or whether he knew he was paying taxes on his image rights.
¿Sabía si tributaba o no?
The truth is no. I didn't know. As my dad explained earlier, I just dedicated myself to play football.
And played it better than anyone in history. Up next on the Immortals, the dynamic duo who ignited the Netherlands. One was the master finisher, the other the dreadlocked midfield maestro. Both are Dutch immortals. They were a part of one of the greatest teams in history. When Marco van Basten and Ruud Gullit arrived at AC Milan in 1987, they were walking into a club in the doldrums without a title for 8 years. Relatively unknown Arrigo Sacchi had been hired as manager, and he put together a team that would change Europe's football landscape. Sacchi's squad won the Italian title in their first season, and then in 1989, won Milan's first European Cup in 2 decades, beating Romanian club Steaua Bucuresti 4-0 in the final. The goal scorers were the 2 stars of the show, Van Basten and Gullit. Together with another Dutchman, Frank Rijkaard, who was a childhood friend of Gullit growing up in Amsterdam, they turned Milan into a powerhouse. A year later, they became the last team to win back-to-back European Cups with a 1-0 win over Benfica. The stars were shining. Gullit took out the 1987 Ballon d'Or, and then the following year, he was a part of a Milan trifecta in Europe's Best Player award, with Van Basten winning the first of his 3. He was the hottest player in world football, and in 1992 was also named FIFA World Player of the Year. It moved Diego Maradona to declare him one of the greatest players he'd seen live. It's between Romario and Van Basten. His partner in crime was also capturing the attention of the game's greats, with George Best declaring the dreadlocked Gullit's skills on a par with Maradona. Both have the key quality you will find in all the best players: balance. You just can't knock them off the ball. It was the same with Pelé, Beckenbauer, and Cruyff. It wasn't just Milan who benefited from the dynamic duo. They combined in the orange of the Netherlands for more than a decade, with the highlight coming at the 1988 European Championships. The tournament was a crowning glory for both. Van Basten was the leading scorer after starting with a hat-trick against England in the second group match. He then scored the game winner in the 88th minute of the semi-final against the host nation West Germany. In the final against the Soviet Union, it was Gullit, the Dutch captain, who opened the scoring after 32 minutes. Early in the second half, his friend joined him in the scorebook, with Van Basten scoring one of the greatest goals in history. The perfect talent had met the perfect stage and produced the perfect moment, an unbelievable acrobatic volley. Sometimes these things just happen. Van Basten went on to score 117 goals in his next 5 seasons, as he claimed the title of the world's best striker. Injuries had been a constant battle, and his final game came in the 1993 Champions League, which Milan lost to Marseille. It wasn't until 2 years later that Van Basten finally conceded there wasn't going to be a comeback, and retired at the age of 28 with an extraordinary 300 career goals to his name. Marco was the greatest striker I ever coached. His early retirement was a mortal misfortune for him, for football, and for Milan. Gullit was arguably one of the most versatile footballers ever, given his ability to play in virtually every position. He took his trade to the English Premier League in 1995, joining Chelsea, where in 1997 he led them to the FA Cup, the club's first trophy for 26 years. And he'd done it as a playing coach after replacing Glenn Hoddle, who'd left Chelsea to become manager of England.
Yeah, it was a great feeling, and well, I'm still tired of everything. It seems all so unreal.
He finished his playing career at Stamford Bridge in 1998 after 465 games over 19 brilliant seasons. It brought to an end a golden era of Dutch football. While Johan Cruyff is the country's undisputed king, Van Basten and Gullit are the princes, both worthy of the crown, both immortals. Big hair and a big personality. Everywhere Gullit went, he brought with him flair and style. The glitz and glamour of the English Premier League was a perfect match, and even inspired him to make a move into the fashion world.
I would never thought of going in fashion 3-4 years ago. But there were some people who said, would you like to be interested in it? And I said, yes, of course, but how would you like to do it? And the easiest way would be, to do something in sportswear. But that is not the point. I wanted to do something that reflects your own taste. And if people like it, also, that would be great. So it's not just to sell as much as possible in sportswear, because you know that all the fans will buy it, but just do something with fashion itself.
It wasn't long into retirement that Gullit shocked the world, shedding his trademark dreadlocks.
In 2000, I took my dreadlocks off, simply because I was fed up of the fact that people would identify me with them. I just wanted a change. As you can see, I still have hair, so that wasn't a way to hide a possible baldness. And now I feel much better without them.
Gullit then dabbled in team management, as did Van Basten, who was the Dutch coach at the 2008 European Championships.
Oh yeah, we have a very difficult group. We have to play against Italy and France, which is the world champion and the vice-world champion. So they are the strongest team in the world. So it's a very, very difficult job for us. And we have also played against Romania, and we had also not an easy job against them. We lost in Romania. So we have to prepare very, very well to have a chance to come through the difficult group.
The Netherlands lost in the quarter-final stage, and Van Basten moved on, joining his old club Ajax, before taking up a role as FIFA's technical officer in 2016. When we return, the odd-looking footballer who became a legend. Ferenc Puskás was short, stocky, barrel-chested, overweight, couldn't head, and only used one foot. And he was one of the best goal scorers in the history of football. Ferenc Puskás was a part of two of the greatest teams of all time. He was an integral member of the magical Magyars Hungary side in the early 1950s. And at Clubland, he was the linchpin of a dominant Real Madrid outfit. Pushkas scored 84 goals in 85 international matches, and an extraordinary 514 goals in 529 matches in the Hungarian and Spanish leagues. And he did it all by only using his left foot. You can only kick with one foot at a time, otherwise you fall on your ass. Puskás was a part of 3 European Cup victories, 10 national championships in Hungary and Spain, and collected 8 individual scoring honors. For his country, he was the key figure in an outfit that had become known as the Golden Team. Between 1950 and 1956, Hungary suffered just one defeat in the biggest game of them all. After collecting Olympic gold in 1952, Puskás and his men arrived at the 1954 World Cup seemingly invincible. A year earlier, they'd embarrassed England at Wembley 6-3, becoming the first foreign team to win on British soil. Then 3 weeks before the World Cup, there was a rematch back at Wembley, and the result was even more spectacular. 7-1 Hungary's way, with Puskás scoring twice. An ankle injury during the group stage of the World Cup meant Puskás missed the quarter-final and semi-finals. He returned for the final against West Germany and scored the opening goal in the 6th minute. The Germans hit back and led 3-2, but with 2 minutes remaining, Puskás appeared to score the equalizer before it was controversially ruled offside. They never got a chance to atone, with Puskás defecting to Spain in 1956, resulting in a 2-year ban. The highlight of his time at Real Madrid was the 1960 European Cup, where he scored 4 goals in his side's 7-3 victory over Eintracht Frankfurt. If a good player has the ball, he should have the vision to spot 3 options. Puskás always saw at least 5. Puskás transformed football despite his physical drawbacks, as he quite simply scored goals where others couldn't, over and over again. It's why he's Hungary's greatest, and it's why he's an immortal.